I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I am Levi.
And I'm Shane.
And he's back. We're back together, reunited, and it feels so good. What's up?
Gosh, man. How was your road trip across the country?
Dude, it was eventful.
Did you just feel guilty for being white the whole time, or?
Pretty much. No, it's and I last episode I talked about like some of the things I saw, but like I didn't mention that initial survey that they had me do, but yeah, some of the questions on there were like it just seemed as if they were driving at one point, and that's like it's bad to be white. That's how those questions seemed. I said it to some of my non-white friends to see if I was like just like feeling super weird about it or not, but they were like, no, that's that's some really weird questions. I was like, okay, well, I'm glad I'm not on the only one that thought that way, but yeah. I didn't feel super guilty about being white, but I did, learn a lot, so that's good. I got to see, I didn't see exactly where you grew up, but kind of. I was in the South. I went to Georgia, kind of barely. We were in Atlanta
Kind of
for
barely?
for a day,
Dude, that's Georgia,
basic.
dude.
Yeah, that's it. I got to
Everyone
see.
knows that if you visit the capital of a state, that is the true representation of that state.
Well, I went to like three places in Alabama, and I went to some places in Mississippi, and I feel like I got the gist of it. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, the South sucks. Got
yeah,
it.
it's all terrible down here. It's so crazy. Like, I grew up like visiting some fairly lower socioeconomic towns and stuff.
Hmm.
That's a whole nother level down there. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's very peculiar, especially when we were in Selma specifically, because you
Yeah.
have I can't remember if this was the largest or the oldest, but it's a historic district in Selma, and I think she said it was the largest. What? And maybe it's just in Alabama or what, but it was like a huge historic district of old houses. Now,
Yeah.
historic in the South means something way different than historic in the North. So, obviously there's a lot of former plantation properties and such that were kind of just like the city built into them. And
Hmm.
and then like so you have all these really like nice old mansions, and then you go 3 blocks that way and there's a house with like a tree hanging in the middle of the roof, and you're like, the fuck, dude, what's happening? Like, is very peculiar, uh to say the least. So, but yeah.
We never fully recovered, dude. You know.
Good. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, it's definitely I don't know, the disparity between the haves and the have-nots seems to be super evident in some of the places we visited, and I was kind of blown away because I'd never really seen it like that. I've seen bad sections of a town, but it was never that extreme in my memory anyway. Maybe I just
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention, I guess. But yeah. Um, Before we get too far along, you wanna thank our Patreon people?
Yeah, dude. We want to thank Al Pacino, Tony Burgess, Sam Norton, Natalie Tacarante, Mark Stadler, Kylie Gangwish, Colton Zamersla, and Jeremy Brazzers.
Oh, I've been meaning to tell you this, but
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't remembered. But Jeremy just got a Tacoma, dude. You guys are
Hey, Tacoma Bros.
Tacoma bros, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Taco Bros, dude.
yeah. He got a black one. He's pretty excited about it. He's gonna turn it into like one of them camper guys. He's gonna be all
Yeah.
outdoorsy with it. So big plans.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
I was like, oh shit, Shane's got one. I fucking keep forgetting to tell him. But yeah, so that's what's new in our neck of the woods. I'm still kind of processing a lot of the information I learned. Uh, if you if you're super curious about it, I just filled an hour plus worth of an episode about it this last episode. So that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I just kept talking, and I'm like, "Ugh, I still have more to go. Oh fuck.
It's a lot of yeah. It was a lot of information. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was a good episode.
Yeah, I definitely could do like a whole podcast just based on all the things I learned, but don't have that kind of time. But yeah, this is
Yeah, man.
back to the thing. So, what's up with you? What's new?
Since you've been gone, dude,
Since you were gone.
yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah,
No, let's see. I mean, been working. Obviously, I'm on deployment,
yeah.
and we've been running 10-hour shifts,
Got the
6 days a
main
week. So it's been a lot of fun.
the main crew back, or are you still?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're all been back. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, been playing in some cornhole tournaments, and then last night I played in a Warzone 2v2 kill race
Okay.
tournament.
Wait, kill.
We finished second. So you drop in as a quad, as a team of 4,
Yeah.
and you split off into twos,
Okay.
and you're trying to get more kills than the other
Oh,
group,
okay. Gotcha.
and you play best of 3 matches.
And how that you did pretty good, I'm assuming.
We finished second. Yeah,
Nice. Nice. That's exciting.
yeah.
Um,
6-hour long tournament. That was ridiculous.
Fuck. I mean, it's crazy though, because like you think about that as like, oh, 6 hours, but then like when you're playing and 6 hours goes by, you're like, whatever, dude. Like, there's 5 more Mountain Dew. Let's fucking go, dude. I'm ready.
Well, we got all the way we were undefeated in the bracket. We got all the way to the championship round, and then we sat around for like an hour and a half waiting
Yeah.
for the team that was going to face us in the championship round,
Yeah.
which I think was ultimately our downfall because we kind of just like got cold.
Yeah. Yeah. You weren't hot and ready.
Mm.
Little Caesar style.
Mm.
Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. I haven't really been playing anything competitively. I turned on War Thunder again for the first time in like 2 months. That's that
Yeah.
World War II dogfighting game. There's other shit you can do in that, but that's literally all I do. And I think that's what a bulk of the people that play that game do. But I just find dogfighting so fascinating, and it really trips me up thinking about how no respawn in real life. You just you gotta not suck. Like you can go 38-1 and still die. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so shitty, so wild. I watched a video about this World War II historian breaking down or it was just a war historian breaking down war scenes in movies, and he was talking
Okay.
about Dunkirk. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. I know about Dunkirk. Yeah.
And he's talking about some of the dogfighting scenes in that, and he's like, yeah, this, you wouldn't have just 2 of these guys, but I'm assuming for the movie they could literally only get 2 of them because there's only so many left in the world. And as Christopher Nolan, he doesn't like to do CGI. He likes to do a lot of practical effects when he can. And so he's like, well, we're just going to have to make the movie with fucking 2 of them, I guess. And then when Tom Hardy's shooting at people, he's like, that's way too much. Like, he's out of ammo for sure by now. And I'm like, God, it was so hard. Like, why didn't everybody just go, you know what, guys, this warfighting thing, this is tough. We need let's play soccer about it or something, because you only get like
football.
Yeah, football. You only get like 15 seconds worth of shooting out of like a in the heat of World War II fighter, right? So you can only hold so much ammo,
Yeah.
and you only have so much fuel, and those things were heavy, and those engines were not strong with the ratio. So I don't know. When I was on my tour, we went to the Red Wings, the Tuskegee Air Base.
Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah, we went and saw
Yeah.
the hangar. There's one that's original still, and that's the one that they trained in and shit. And so we got to see it. I was like, oh shit, that's pretty ballin'. And they had an old wing like breakdown of like the layers and how it was built, and I was like, it's my shit. What's up? It was old school airframer dudes. What's up, dude? I was all like geeking out, and everybody's like, "You're not supposed to be excited on this trip." Okay, whatever, dude. This is cool. Like, they had a model, like a replica P-51. It wasn't a real one, but
Yeah.
they had a replica Red Tail P-51 hanging in one of the buildings. That's so fucking sweet.
Yeah, no, that sounds badass.
It's like, in my head, it's like imagining what we did, but like as like a Harley mechanic, you know, like instead of it being just so like plug and play, you're like, I'm gotta tear this whole thing apart, find out this fucking thing. It just seems a little more fun, but
Oh yeah, I bet it was.
no Pimas, you know, you gotta just fucking know.
Oh yeah.
That's wild.
But you could also, stick some bubble gum in a hole. Like, oh, there's a bullet hole here. Just give me some gum.
Yeah, you know what they used to do a lot of?
What?
They would use like beer cans. They would cut beer cans apart, and
Mm.
then they would like roll out the aluminum or tin or whatever they were back then,
Yeah.
and they would use that to patch stuff, which is fun. Doesn't really surprise me. I mean, what else are you gonna use? You got shit ton of beer cans laying around. Might as well fucking use them. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Hey man. So we got
Hey, man.
a lot of comments from a lot of videos. But unfortunately, I just put up the most recent video like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So we only have 2 comments on that one. Uh, but Kylie was ready to be sad and cry about it. So that's what she said. I'm ready to be sad and cry. Let's go. Then she said, I haven't cried, but man, there's a lot of people that could really benefit from doing this trip that I went on. And that's
Yeah.
true. Um, it's so crazy because like what like this is gonna be like kind of my last thoughts on it before I move into stuff about news.
Yeah.
Um, like there is such a big disconnect from like what people think people are upset about when it comes to uh Confederate monuments and like the battle flag and all this shit,
Mm-hmm.
and what like like the implications of it as a whole. And like going to some of the museums I went to, and I mentioned this place in that episode specifically, but the Legacy Museum in Birmingham was rough. Like I learned a lot, but it was very visual. It had a lot of like intense imagery to kind of drive home the points, and like
Yeah.
there's a really good sculptor had some really powerful sculptures on display there, and I took a picture of the one that was on um, the Memorial for Peace and Justice, which is the memorial for all the lynchings post Civil
Yeah.
War.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that like that same artist had a thing there, and then this other place, and you hear people with the some kind of arguments where they're like, "Oh, it's so long ago, we fucking get over it," blah blah blah. But really, like, the issues that traveled from slavery,
Mm-hmm.
passed through the Civil War into Reconstruction, and then post Reconstruction and into the Civil Rights Movement. Like, there was people who were like being told that they had to like fill out these crazy tests just to vote,
Yeah.
and that was in the 50s. And then people are like, no, there's no like systemic problem with our country to to keep anybody down. Like, what? It
Right.
was right fucking there. Like, are you telling me there's no bleed through from that? It's just there. Like my grandpa's younger than when this, or yeah, no, older than when this stuff like stopped, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so I don't know. And I still like every day I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, like I don't know what to do with a lot of this information, but other than tell people about it, I guess. And that was like at the end of the trip, they're like, "What are you gonna do, kind of moving forward?" I was like, "I guess I'll just use all this information to argue with more people on Facebook, because that's that's how I get my information out there."
Yeah.
But yeah, like literally everything I talked about was like that's all facts. Like there's no like room to be like, oh well maybe no. It's all like these are things that actually happen. And so
Yeah.
when there's people who are like super dismissive, I kind of lump them in with Holocaust deniers because how are you using your brain so ineffectively, you know?
Right.
But yeah. So anyway,
That's your rant?
that's my rant on that. Now, are you ready to get into some fun stuff?
Yeah, dude.
Because I know you've seen this chick's face everywhere. This,
Dude, it's it's utterly apparent that I don't watch the news enough
yeah,
because I'll get on like Facebook or whatever, start scrolling, and then see like a meme about something I have no clue about. I'm like, I don't. Why is this funny? Then
yeah,
I have to spend the next like 10 minutes like googling
looking it up.
news articles to try to figure out like what this meme's in reference to.
Yeah,
And I think the one meme that I saw the most that I really like, I was like, that's funny, but also kind of fucked up, was the one where it was like, it's a picture of all four of the other cops that she slept with,
yeah,
and it's like this girl's getting lit up, but like, what about these dudes?
yeah,
It's
right.
funny. It's super funny that that she was fucking these dudes or whatever. It's hilarious, but
Yeah,
apparently it's all her fault.
yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I like. My consensus has been from it, and if you notice, I didn't share any memes of this. I was real proud of myself because I wanted to, but I was like, no, because there's so many sides to this story. All of those dudes are married too, so she's not the only one cheating on her, significant other. And people are like, oh, yeah, but she cheated on her husband with four other guys. Like, yeah, but they entered into this thing knowing there was other people involved too. They knew
Mhm.
that so and so was cheating on with like they knew that those guys were doing it, and they obviously knew that they were doing it. Like to paint her as like the only guilty party is so absurd. Like obviously they're all shitheads, like especially since they were doing it on the clock. But yeah, like you said, it's super fucked up that everybody's just been like, yeah, it's all her fault, dude. Let's just drag her. And I can't imagine like I'm hoping her friends and family took her phone away or something. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like just because the internet's ridiculous and ruthless. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I also was like thinking about like the different instances where I've seen things like this because this isn't the first time anything like this has happened for sure,
Hmm.
and um I don't know, it like always slants hard on the women in the situation,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it does.
that's just not fair like at all. But um yeah, I so it was her and four, right? I can't remember
That's, I
if it
mean,
was.
that's what I keep seeing. I keep seeing a picture of four different dudes.
Yeah,
So I don't know if there was a fifth or a sixth person or whatever, but
yeah. So I'm reading this article, and I guess she had been warned about it because she had gotten some uh she had other instances within the police department, right? Uh
yeah.
she had also crashed her patrol car repeatedly
Whoa.
during her 2 years in with this force specifically. Um and so like with the most recent exchange, there's an internal probe which bad phrasing or great phrasing, I guess, on this website's
Right.
verbiage, but revealed that she was fucking on duty, and then also at a hot tub party, she whipped her bikini off. Which who doesn't do that at a hot tub party, really? realistically,
Mm-hmm.
because she's 26. Okay, mid-20s. You show me mid-20s party with a bunch of people who have a stressful job and are just having a good time. You show me one tit that's not out at that party. You know what I'm saying? I've been to
Yeah.
that party, not this party specifically, but I've seen it happen. Um, and she was also, uh, her and another officer pestered, uh, or no, she pestered another officer for a three-way with that guy's wife too. So,
Oh wow.
yeah. Um, but I would like to know. I would like to see a write up of like all the other dudes that were involved. Like, what else did they do? We don't know. They don't fucking tell us.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I just so the reason she was fired was not specifically for the incident that people were talking about, because she was
Right.
already kind of like on the rec or not on the record. What do you call it? Like they had a close eye on her, right?
Yeah, she's on the radar.
Yeah, on the radar.
She's being watched. She was in the she was like
Yeah,
whenever you were still in, like whenever your shop fucks up,
yeah,
like for like the next like month or so, like everyone in the command's like all right, you
yeah.
guys are gonna fuck up
Close
again?
eye on you, fucks. Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
basically what was happening. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, I hope I hope she doesn't have her phone, because God, I can't imagine what would be going through her mind seeing all the fucking memes and shit. You know it's not
Yeah.
good for any of these people, but
And her
uh,
husband from what I've seen, her husband is staying with her.
yeah, that's what I saw too. Which I mean, hey, I like, what else are you gonna do at that point? You know, you can fucking turn tail and leave, but then you're kind of already in that. And also, I kind of wonder if he is staying with her just because he knows that she needs somebody. You know what I mean? She probably feels super alone right now, which is,
But also, I mean, and you haven't seen anything about it, but like, is it possible that he was into shit like that?
could
You
be,
know?
could be into it. We don't kink shame here. He could be.
No.
Yeah.
Like I know that she said that. I guess like I read an article where she said they were in an open relationship, and then her husband was asked, and they were like, and he was like, "No, we're not."
Pull the Will Smith.
But
Mm.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm saying like that. But like,
Yeah.
what if he legit liked knowing? What if like his wife would come home and he'd be like, "All right, babe, what'd you do today?" And she'd be like, "Oh, this dude banged me," and he was like, "Oh, it's hot."
Yeah. That could be. There's
But
people like that too.
and who's gonna admit that out loud? You know what I mean? Some people
Nobody.
are ashamed. Some people are ashamed of what they're into.
Yeah.
So whenever he got asked, "Were you guys in an open relationship?" He was, "No, definitely not, dude. I would. Why would I, a man,
Yeah.
like to
He just
like to know that
doubles
my wife
down.
has?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I could see
you
that.
know."
That
And
for sure.
then if that's the case, like it seems less. What's the word? It seems less valiant if that's what's going on, right? Like he was
Yeah.
already into it. He already knew about it, but he to save face, he was like, "Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
She's cheating."
Maybe he's got a humiliation fetish and he's just fucking on one right now.
Dude, right?
Oh man, he's got to be in cloud nine for sure. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh shit. Update on the Alec Baldwin situation.
Okay.
He's going to be charged with involuntary manslaughter with the death of the what was she? She was the cinematographer on the set of the movie Rust when
Yeah.
he was using the prop gun, and I don't think it's still been exactly discussed what specifically happened, if it was a live round or a blank round that blew up, a la Brandon Lee style.
Mm.
But yeah, so involuntary manslaughter, which I feel like that's pretty right. I mean, because he's like a producer of the movie too, so like I feel like that's pretty on the nose, like that's where it should be.
Okay.
I kind of wonder what kind of charges the what do they call it, the on set weapon
Like the
expert
onset, like
armorer.
yeah. There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah. I kind of wonder, and she had some other issues, if I remember right, on a different movie. So I'm kind of wondering what kind of charges they'll bring for her. But this is, it's Alec Baldwin, so that one's out quick. Like they're like, oh shit, this is important. But yeah, so let's see. The armorer. God, I don't pronounce
Arm and
numbers.
Hammer.
Yeah, the Arm and Hammer, overseeing the weapons, is also being charged with involuntary manslaughter. Okay. Okay, so everybody's just getting charged with involuntary manslaughter. I think that, like I said, I think that's pretty apt. I don't know. There's not really anything more to go off of, like, until the court actually, like, goes in and the lawyers explain, do their analysis, and paint the scene of what happened. Kind of hard to know, So I did see that they have like a 3D rendering of but I haven't watched it. Like what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I honestly had forgot all about that
Right?
case.
Right? Pretty like there's been so much stuff. This fucking news thing never ends. Yeah.
Dude, I got something. So,
Oh shit.
have you ever heard of the show on YouTube called All Gas No Brakes?
All gas, no brakes. It sounds familiar.
So it's this guy who traveled around in an RV, just like doing random ass interviews. Like he interviewed the
Oh.
Proud Boys.
Yeah.
He interviewed like furries at a convention.
Andrew.
He went to like,
right?
Yeah, I can't remember his
Like
last
Andrew
name.
Hoffman or some random shit like that.
But so he did all those interviews, and they're funny, and they're kind of weird to see. On all honesty, sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, just recently back
Callaghan.
here in last December. Yeah, Andrew Callaghan. Yeah, there we go. He released a movie or a movie documentary called This Place Rules.
Oh yeah.
And I just watched that a couple days ago, and
good?
it is.
I've been meaning to watch.
Yeah, because what it is it's the events that led up to the Capitol being stormed from his point of view.
Right.
Because like when everything was going on, with like with all the marches and like the people talking about how the election was rigged, and he was doing interviews nonstop, like just trying to
figure out
like what was going on. And some of the people he interviews, like you brought up Atlanta earlier.
Yeah.
He interviews this family from Atlanta, and the little kid, not the mom and dad, they're just like sitting there, like happy parents while their 7 or 8 year old is talking about how Joe Biden is a lizard person and how he eats children, and how, dude, it was ridiculous.
Man.
It's definitely worth watching, and it's definitely kind of hard to watch at times because you're just like, there's no way you believe this.
Yeah, dude. He's very gonzo. Like he likes to get in on the ground of the people he's talking to. So, I guess it would be kind of hard to watch, because if you're getting that close to people, they're gonna be saying some shit that you're not really prepared for, or like the shit that you see, and sometimes you are expecting there to be like some heavy level of sarcasm behind, or like the shit you hear on Time Suck on the Idiots of the Internet section, where it's just bananas, and you can't help but laugh because there's no way a person in their right mind thinks that. And then you go to somebody like Andrew, where he interviews these people, and he does it so well because you see them as like regular people, and then they start saying shit sometimes, and you're like, oh, okay, well,
yeah.
And how well people hide their super not normal stuff behind their
right, they're crazy.
Yeah. What's it on?
It's on HBO Max.
Okay, sweet. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
I'll watch that tonight. I remember watching a clip or a couple clips of it, and there's one scene where he's talking to this guy in like a coffee shop, and he's like, yeah, all these people, they're just all pedophiles, all pedophiles, and he's like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Shows him
So
like Oprah, pedophile, like Hillary Clinton, pedophile. And the guy
It was
doesn't
funny
even
because
think for a second. He's just like
no.
pedophile. Like this
The
is it.
funniest part about that is it's like Oprah, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and then he shows him a picture of Jonah Hill, and he was like pedophile, and I was
Yeah,
like, what?
yeah. Just he's just ready to call everybody a pedophile. I wish
Everyone.
I wish he would have like had a Photoshop picture of like some uber conservative person, just to like a super like dark haired Donald Trump just slid in there, so
Yeah,
enough to where it looks slightly different, to see if he would have just
yeah,
kept going. Because when people get into that state where they're like they're hunkered down into their their personal beliefs, they have all
yeah,
like their cognitive dissonance is not allowing any other thoughts inside, and they just dig their heels in. You can say fuck at anything, and they'll like they just go, no, that's fucking bullshit, dude.
yeah. To
You don't
defend their
agree.
point,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, what are we doing, man? Um, yeah, I need to watch that tonight. But
And I'm glad you brought that scene up because that scene gets so much worse.
really, oh, perfect.
Yeah,
That's all I saw was after he got to Jonah Hill, and then I laughed and closed it. Um, yeah. Speaking of the crazy election fraud people, Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, has said that he's claimed that he's lost around $100 million since he came out with the election fraud um, stuff that he's been saying, propagating
yeah.
these things. And he's also facing a $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it's in lieu of the Dominion voting systems too. Like
Okay.
so the people that are like at the epicenter of the charges that he's been, saying, yeah, these people fucked up. And uh but yeah, so and then he's like, I didn't do anything wrong. That's his he's literally still going, yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. Like he's so entrenched in his belief. This is what I'm talking about. Like, no, you guys are all crazy.
Yeah.
I'm centered in my beliefs, and it's just so wild. Um, I just don't understand. You know what's really crazy to me right now is with the Twitter files that have been coming out. That Elon's been releasing like internal emails that Twitter higher ups had
Oh
with
no.
like with different people. I mean, there's been a lot of Democratic like not any specific candidate, but people who work for those candidates. And like it's
Okay.
very House of Cards esque, right? There's people who work for other people who are like, I need you to do this, and this other company who isn't the boss of this company, this person that works there is like, I think we can have that happen, and like they're suppressing different stories. The Hunter Biden laptop is a big one, but what's crazy is like all the things that is coming out about that is not anything that people haven't already known about. And one of the one of the really funny things is in the Twitter files that they're talking about, they're saying, this is proof that the Democratic Party used Twitter to sway the election, when literally like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they were still defending uh, the fact that they're like, oh no, Russia couldn't have swayed the election via Twitter. Like that's not how election swaying works. They got to be stuffing ballots. Like so now the thought has finally rounded the corner in their head, and now it's possible for people to use social media to influence different things, which I don't know how that wasn't black and white to begin with. If you have enough people on social media saying a certain thing, you can convince people at not a huge number of people, but you can convince some people of it. You can see that with different different controversial people that have been coming out. Like I shared this thing about uh Chris Chris Pratt the other day, and it got a bunch of people worked up in my comment section. And like,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I don't fucking hate Chris Pratt, but like, I think that this like weird, like heroic martyrdom shit that he's been like acting like he's this huge victim all of a sudden,
Hmm.
I think is hilarious and bullshit. But there are people who genuinely hate him. For what reason? Well, because they heard some information and that information was shown by a big enough grouping of people on social media that they kind of all just rolled into it. A lot of the
Yes.
Elon Musk haters have also been like, granted, there's people who have definite issues with him, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't think that's a big deal. I think he's got some definite character flaws, but there is a large group of people who will just hate people to hate people, and
Hmm.
that comes from social media. So for the conservative people to be acting as if that's not something that is possible until it happens because of like the other party, because they're
Yeah.
involved in something, now all of a sudden it's possible. But
Yeah.
they're not going to take two steps back and go, maybe we maybe we did fuck up.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know,
Well, no, you just
it's so
you just
wild.
change the narrative. You just
Yeah,
change the narrative to fit your agenda. That's all you got to do.
it reminds
It
me
isn't.
of, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the same thing with like the vaccines at first. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
Like at first, the right was all just get the fucking vaccine, get
Yeah,
it, you
get
know,
it and
whatever.
open everything back up. As soon as we get the
Yeah,
vaccine, we won't give a shit about anything the left's trying to
exactly.
do. And then the
And the
vaccine comes out, and
second,
they're like, "You are not fucking taking that thing." I'll tell you that.
because because the second it came out, the left was like, you know what, maybe the other side wasn't wrong. Maybe we should take this
Yeah,
vaccine.
the
And
compromise
then
changed, and then they're like, "No, you can't.
no,
We're not on the
fuck
same
that.
side."
We can't fucking trust that vaccine.
Even though that's their buddy, old Donnie Jake, he handcrafted that vaccine in his backyard, dude. He was
And
like,
even after he got it, they were
he
like,
got
oh
it.
no 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 no.
Literally everybody on the Fox News roster got it, but they continue to push the narrative that it's, yeah, it's hilarious. But what it reminds me of is the inability to comprehend super super political bands and what side they're actually on. So like
Yeah.
uh I don't know if you've been seeing the Pink Floyd one on Facebook where their 50th anniversary of Dark Side of
Oh
the
my
Moon. And
God.
like I looked at like into the comment section on that post, and there was 100% for sure people that, I mean, there was a lot of trolling in there, but if you scroll to the end of time on that post, you can find people that are like, no, don't do this, man. They put a rainbow inside the zero on 50
Yeah.
over the prism of the Dark
Yeah.
Side of the Moon album, and people are like, these woke pieces of shit, which is fucking hilarious because if you knew anything about Pink Floyd, A, you'd know that the fucking prism has a rainbow coming out of it, and B, they're pretty fucking progressive. Like, they, I don't understand how people come to these conclusions about bands, like, other than the fact that they haven't listened to any songs. They're like, we
Yeah.
watched The Wall, seemed pretty kosher to me. Like, no, dude, this is about you, actually. Like, they're making
Yeah.
fun of you this whole time. Or
Yeah.
people who don't understand the irony using Born in the USA for like political campaigns. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a patriotic song. It's like dude who's ashamed to be American because he doesn't want to fight in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Or what, CCR, any of their music
Yeah.
really. Yeah, so, or all the people that were getting real pissed off about Rage Against the Machines. They're like, why do they fucking hate conservatives so much? Like, let me guess. Next, you're gonna tell me, System of a Down is also progressive. Like, what the fuck, dude? Hilarious. Why are people so dumb?
Because a lot of people take things at face value and
That's
never
true.
do any kind of like research or even attempt to look at anything.
Yeah, we don't
And
have.
then you get stuck in that
Oh yeah,
go ahead.
echo chamber.
Yeah, you get stuck in that echo chamber of like everybody else that you all the shit you post attracts more shit that you post. All the shit you like attracts the same thing. You get caught on
Yeah.
that same algorithm. And you're like, oh well, everything I'm seeing says that I'm right.
Yeah. I do not delete friends off of Facebook with the exception of people who will not accept any other points of view. Like if you get into a conversation with somebody and they don't even give you the courtesy of like, okay, I can see where you're saying that, but I don't think that way. If they can't even give you that, like I'm out. Like every time we're gonna have a conversation, it's gonna go straight back to the same starting point. And then
Exactly.
also if they're just blatantly being like super racist, I think is also red flag. And I've kind of lumped in those people with the ones that are like just talking shit like homophobic stuff too, I just kind of lump all those guys in now. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
I ain't got time for it. I'm gonna play Pink Floyd loud and proud, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's what we do in this house. Yeah. Uh, we got the fucking Billboard 200. I haven't heard of. I didn't do it this last episode, so
Didn't do it.
no, because I got too caught up in my shit, and then I was like, "Oh, it's
Oh
time to
my
go."
god.
3 hours in, I gotta.
It's time. It's time to get out of here.
Thought I was Joe Rogan.
All right. Well, this is
Story of a girl. Trying to
as of
run
yesterday.
down the
So
world.
the SOS by SZA.
SZA.
I think I'm saying. Is it SZA?
I'm pretty sure it says it. Yeah.
All right. That's like the less aggressive version of scissors.
Yeah. Yeah.
SZA.
It's safety
Oh, okay.
scissors. Yeah. SZA.
Scissors. Yeah. So number one, SOS by SZA. Number two is Midnight by Taylor Swift.
Shit.
Number three is Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin.
Oh. Okay.
Never heard of him.
No.
Drake and 21 Savage, Her Loss.
God, fucking
Uh,
Drake, dude.
dude, I know.
That's passive aggressive titles. I just don't get it. Is that song
Number
about
five
Millie
is
Bobby Brown?
probably. God, dude. Number five is Un Viernes Sin Ti by Bad Bunny. Number six is Dangerous, the double album, Morgan Wallen.
Always back in.
Number seven is American Heartbreak by Zach Bryan.
Dang.
Super dope. Number eight is It's Only Me by Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Debuting at number nine, I Rest My Case by Young Boy Never Broke Again.
Oh, shit.
He's resting his case, all right?
He's done.
And then number 10 is Harry's House by Harry Styles.
I'm glad to see your boys back in the top 10. Not last week, but 2 weeks ago, the episode that I did before I went on my trip.
Yeah.
All the fucking Christmas songs knocked your boy out of the top 10.
Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
This is terrible, dude.
I know, dude. But he's back in because all the Christmas music's fading, so that's good. We got that going. I'm gonna put an asterisk on it. I don't think it should count. Like that's not fair. I don't think Christmas music should be allowed back in the top 10. You give them their own top 10. You know?
Yeah. Billboard should start a new, just a Christmas billboard.
Yeah, and so it's never gonna change for most of the year, and then as soon as you get in like November, then the top 10 in the Christmas chart starts changing, and you get to battle it out.
It's just Mariah Carey number one every Christmas.
Mariah Carey and Michael Bublé just fighting it out to the death.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Dude, they should have a boxing match.
dude, celebrity death match, Mariah Carey. Do you remember that show?
Yes, dude. That claymation show is
show
dope.
was so good. Man, it's so aggressive, but I loved it so much.
It was great.
Yeah, that show, and then that whole because that was on MTV, right?
Yeah.
I want to say that was like Beavis and Butthead, Celebrity Deathmatch, like that section, that block of episode or shows was
Yeah.
like it was sad that they were getting rid of music, but you had top notch programming. So, and now look at them. They're
Before it all went to shit whenever all 17 MTV channels have nothing but reality shows on them.
yeah. I saw, because we sometimes me and my roommate watch TV, just like regular TV, and there's commercials. There's more Jersey Shore shit coming out. I'm like, fuck, why are these people still relevant? What? Like, I like watching train wrecks as much as the next guy, but come on. There's got to be something different we can do. No.
No, it's this new, it's this like the whole deal where like everything has to be brought back for nostalgia purposes.
Yeah, and it's not even that wasn't even that long ago. Like
Yeah.
and they kept bringing like special edition Jersey Shores back. So really, it never really stopped airing for a big chunk of time. They just keep forcing it down our throats. Like I don't even watch that show, but I'm seeing ads for it now, so I'm like, I'm a victim.
Well, we're in the minority in that aspect. Like, if you think about it, like
That's true.
they wouldn't keep making reality TV
If
shows
nobody
if
was
there weren't
watching it.
people that if people
Yeah.
didn't religiously watch them.
Yeah, I know. That's the unfortunate part about it. Like I can handle a TikTok's worth of Jersey Shore information for a year. Like you give me a minute 50 tops, and you can just
Yeah.
front load that with a bunch of their fighting. And like in the commercial, they're walking down the street and one of the guys is like, oh, it's like he's never seen Guido before. I'm like, the fucking amount of brain cells that are lost on this show has
Yeah.
gotta be ridiculous. Like
Exponential.
why does New Jersey still exist? You know what I mean? I know that this one section of the whole state should not dictate what happens to the state, but here's the thing: they've had the chance to stop them, and they've done nothing. So now the whole state's gotta go. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. I'll make the rules.
It's funny that you brought it around to New Jersey. So there's another documentary on HBO Max called Class Action Park,
Okay.
and it's about this water park in New Jersey in the 80s
Oh,
that
hell
was
yeah.
extremely unsafe.
Let's go, dude.
Dude, it's worth the watch too.
Yeah.
It is the shit that happened to people there, and people were just like, "Oh, okay."
Fuck it,
You
we're
got to go
going
there and
back
do
to
it.
the water park. We
Yeah,
don't have it.
yeah. You got to go to Action Park. You got to get hurt. It's part of growing up.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's like that Wally's World from Vacation.
Yeah.
It's just part of growing up. You gotta go to Wally's World. Okay. Fuck. Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you remember our friends?
Dude, I remember most of them. So we got Dutch and Denver podcast. We got No New Friends podcast. We got Kicking It with the Kellys and the Remedy Room.
Nice. Nailed
Those
it.
are our friends.
Um,
Make sure you check them all out. All of our links are at linktree/walkpod. That's linktr.ee/WOKPOD.
Yep. It's in the
Hey,
description.
first try.
It's on the screen somewhere. Yeah. And yeah, do that. Click the link. Go to the YouTube. If you're listening to this, definitely go to the YouTube, and like it takes like 2 seconds. You pull it up on YouTube, you hit the like button, then you can close it. Even if you just listen to it, like it takes 0 seconds. That's like 2, but still. Do that. If you haven't subscribed, maybe hit us with a little subscription action.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, press the button, see how you like it. Yeah. Do that. If you want to leave us a review, you have to have Apple Podcasts, because that's it. Well, you can do stars on Spotify. And also hit the Facebook page up and see all the memes the Master Media is cranking out. I almost said making and made it like the most ridiculous alliteration, but my tongue couldn't handle it. I was like, I gotta
Just avoid the one where she attacks me for being fat. That's
yeah,
bullshit.
the fat Batman. That's pretty funny. I love Natalie's sad react on it. Oh man. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Tip your bartender.